Real combat. Real action. Carnage Media.
Welcome back to another episode of Carnage Unleashed here on Carnage Media. I'm your host today, Clayton Scalina. Joining me today is, of course, Connor Smith and a very special guest of our upcoming show, Carnage Fight Series 5 in Sandusky, Ohio, Cam the Big Mac Graham. Cam, welcome to the show, man. How's everything been going?
Pretty good. I appreciate you guys for having me, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. And of course, Connor, I'd be a terrible co-host if I didn't ask you how your day was going too, my man. How's everything been?
I'm doing good, man. This is a big card we got coming up for Carnage. I'm excited for it, and to get to interview Cam here today is going to be a good time and build up a lot of hype. So I'm pumped for it.
Absolutely. And Cam, before we even get into any of the fighting stuff, people are going to be watching this interview and they're going to be thinking about it. Talk about the pink beard. Everybody's going to want to know what is the story behind
that. So the initial story, which if anybody that knows me, I lost my mother to breast cancer, December 25th, 2002. It's been a long time. But I wear pink in remembrance of my mother. I have pink shorts. I have pink walkout shirts, which my walkout shirts, everything that's purchased from those shirts goes right back towards breast cancer awareness. It's a very big part of who I am. And the pink beard is just the icing on the cake. Everybody, I did it one time, and then it's been like a trademark since then.
Absolutely. That's an awesome story. And going back to your start in mixed martial arts, did that event in your life have any sort of meaning when you started training?
It did. It was very big on just kind of how I saw performing. I ain't just performing, just doing anything, because I lost my mom at a very early age, so she never actually got to see me do a lot of things. She never got to watch me play at the middle school level, high school level, and so forth on. She never got to watch me fight. She never got the opportunity to watch me fight. So any time that I'm out there and I perform, like I'm putting on a show for just more than just the people that are in attendance. It's big for me.
Absolutely. And you talked about a little bit about your athletic background, middle school, high school. How did you get involved with mixed martial arts first? Like, what was your first introduction into the sport?
I actually used to wrestle middle school, high school, and going into high school, my older cousin, Aubrey Collier, he was a professional fighter at the time. I was, like I say, wrestling, and I wanted to get more training in to get better at wrestling. Well, he brought me to the gym to get started with wrestling, started learning, other mixed martial arts, which we started with Muay Thai. So I went from Muay Thai to doing a little bit of more Greco-Roman wrestling. And literally we were at an event of his. He was fighting on the card, and there was a guy that backed out, and they were like, "Hey, we need a heavyweight to fill in." And I'm like, shit, I'll do it. Like, bro, you're like 16, right? I'm like, yeah. Kid you not, I took 16 years old on a couple hours notice, and I've been doing it ever since.
Talk about your first fight. You were 16, just kind of coming in off the street, basically, right? Obviously with some wrestling experience. What was your first MMA fight like? What was your mindset like?
Like, there were people there that were there for my cousin, which is, like I say, same family. So I had people there already, and they're just all looking like, what the hell is he doing? So the atmosphere was already set for me to, like, they were there for me. So going into it, it's like, oh yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be at. And then the guy I fought, I thought it was going to be more of a challenge, and to me at the time it wasn't. So when I was, coming in, I'm like, this is my first fight. I'm thinking it's going to be harder than this. Like, nah, it's too easy. Like, I want to keep doing it. And I just kept doing it.
How soon after that did you take your next fight then?
It was like a couple weeks. I don't know if anybody follows, kind of how I fight. I'm probably one of the most active fighters around. There's not a time that I'm not fighting. I get very little downtime. I'm always taking fights. And I've been doing it for years. Even back then, I was taking some sanctioned fights. I was taking some non-sanctioned fights. I was 16, so they couldn't always find opponents to actually fight me. So I mean, there was times we were traveling for me to fight grown men, and I'm just like, all right, let's do it. So I mean, I've always stayed at it, man, week after week.
Now, if there's one person in here that knows about fighting all the time, it would be my co-host, Connor Smith. So, Connor, I'm definitely going to kick it over to you now, brother.
Yes, sir. I want to start diving into this matchup a little bit with Charlie. Watching Charlie's fights, seeing what he's done. When it comes to the experience, you got more fights just as a pro than he has altogether, pro and amateur. So, like, what do you see in Charlie? Is he going to show you anything that you haven't seen before, or with all this experience, is this kind of just another another fight for you? You've seen what he's done. You've come across stuff like that before.
So in all honesty, like I've watched some of his fights, and just based off of how he fights, it's not even like I'm holding anything against him, because I don't misjudge anyone. I've been in there with some of the most experienced guys. I've been in there with guys that have made more experience than me, and yet I can still perform better than them. So it's there's times that you can't judge a book by its cover. He may get in there and show me something that I haven't seen yet. So again, I'm gonna treat every fight pretty much the same. I'm coming here to entertain. I'm coming here to throw hands, and I mean, if it goes my way, it goes my way. If it doesn't, on to the next one. I'm here to have fun and throw hands.
Absolutely. Also, do you feel like, so like I said, you fought a lot more guys than him, big name guys like Sam Alvey, guys like Alexander Romanov, these big names that people know from UFC, level fighters. Do you believe that your experience is that going to be the factor that'll, if it goes your way, that's going to be the factor, or do you think, like, is that going to give you the advantage over Charlie's youth and his, the hype that he's got built, or do you think it's going to be your experience in the, battle tested that you have against these tough guys?
To an extent, it's gonna, yeah. I feel like it's gonna be the experience level, because I mean, again, I'm comfortable there. It's me in the cage. It's home for me. He's still kind of getting comfortable. He he may not be prepared for the level of comfort that I am in there. Like, there's too many times I've gone against guys that, again, UFC level guys. They hit me, and I'm just like, yeah, boy, this is fun. This is where I'm at. And not everybody can take that well. They get shook by stuff like that. And so it's a lot to deal with. It may not be where he really wants to be at. In the trenches with me, it can go there sometimes.
Got you. I like that. Clayton, I'm going to pass it back. You got any questions for him?
Oh, of course, of course. So, anybody who looks at your Tapology is going to see your level of experience, right? Since turning pro, you've had over 30 fights across different combat sports. Do you have a favorite discipline to do? Obviously, MMA is a majority of your experience, but you got some pro boxing and kickboxing in here too.
I'm gonna have to say MMA, only because just the versatility of it. Boxing is not my bread and butter. Just the every boxing match I've had, I've gone against, some legit boxers. One guy was an Olympic boxer, and me and him went all 4 rounds, and every single time in those 4 rounds, I'm like, I'm gonna throw a kick, like I'm gonna throw a kick, or I'm getting hit. I'm gonna take this motherfucker down. Excuse me, like. So MMA is kind of bread and butter. Kickboxing is fun, it is. I like kickboxing. If I could do something closer to the lines of like Jorge did it with the bare knuckle MMA, I definitely get into that. Like that's back to the more purest of form. Like, bro, no gloves, and I can do everything. Oh yeah, I'd be dangerous. That'd be fun for me.
So with bare knuckle MMA, would you consider maybe taking a BKFC fight at any point in the future?
Yeah, I would. The right matchups, the right timing. Yeah, I'd definitely look into it. I wouldn't necessarily close that door for me to do BKFC and not still be able to do MMA, because I mean most of the guys that I've seen, once they get into the field of BKFC, they're kind of there. They take multiple fights back to back, and they just become bare knuckle fighters. I don't want to just be that. Like I said, I like doing everything. I still want to be able to do MMA, boxing here and there. Again, I'm probably the most active fighter in the region. I do it all. So to be able to do it is kind of where I'm at. I've yet to be closed in the box of hey, he's only a bare knuckle fighter, or only a boxer, or only MMA. Like I said, I like being able to do it all.
Absolutely, absolutely. And looking back on your career, like you said, you have done it all. You have all different kinds of experience. If you had to pick one fight to look back on and say, man, that was my favorite fight because it was exciting, my opponent was entertaining, I had a lot of fun. What fight jumps out to you the most?
And it has zero to do with entertainment or anything that of my performance, but it would have to be the Sam Alvey fight. The Sam Alvey fight taught me a lot. Not only from um, just out of the skill level difference, the experience difference. But me and Sam are kind of two of a kind. Like real talk, me and Sam are very similar. We're both goofy. We love the sport. So to be in there with him and to be to the level of how he fights, it reminded me of like, okay, this is kind of where I want to be with it. He has fun with it. He doesn't take anything entirely too serious, and even in defeat, he's humble. He's like me. Like, I mean, everybody knows I got a lot of losses. My tabology will tell you, like, I got a lot of losses, but they're not losses. All losses to me. It's lessons. There's no way to keep going in this game if you take every loss as a to heart loss. There has to be some bit of lesson in there, and that's kind of all I am. Is as long as I'm continuing to get better and continuing to learn and also use that to teach, then that's all I care about.
So do you think we've seen the best of the Big Mac yet, or do you think that you're still getting better every time you get in there?
Oh, no, I'm steady getting better. Um, for years, my ground game has kind of been a fault. A lot of guys have gotten the best of me mainly because of my ground game, and it's not even like I'm a wrestler. But as far as the submission levels, the transition, stuff like that. So over the years, I've been working on it and developing that, as well as getting my health under control. I used to be a very bad drinker. Been sober for some years now. So like getting to where I can control all of those things. If I could somehow find a way to put down sweets, I'd probably be a light heavyweight, and and I'd be a monster at light heavyweight. I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Absolutely. And Connor, I'm going to go ahead and kick it back to you here because we're definitely getting into that high level MMA questions. I'm curious to see what somebody like you can pick.
Yeah. We talked about, like I said, we've been talking about your experience. You talked about that Sam Alvey fight. For someone that doesn't know Cam Graham, what is one fight that they should watch and be like, this is what Cam Graham brings to the table. This is the type of fighter he is. What's that fight that they should watch to really figure out who you are?
Probably one of my most recent ones. I fought Jose Brown. Uh, Big Brown. He's Jose Evans. Big Brown. They call him Big Brown. That was a fight that was pretty dominant for me. And it took me back to because I had a spectacular camp. Um, I took a loss right before that. So going into that fight, it was all about me getting better and learning and showcasing everything that I've been preparing, and as well as being entertaining. He come in nice and hot. Um, I'm not a hard pressure guy. I can. I don't have to. I'm more of a laid back. I get comfortable. Like I said, I've been in there so many times. I get comfortable. Guys come forward and I'm just cheesing, and you slip in and I'll throw some crazy. I've thrown flying knees. I've thrown spinning elbows. I always come to entertain. So like when guys see how big I am and how well I move, it's like, okay, yeah, no, big guy shouldn't be doing stuff like that. Like, and in that fight, that's how I was able to showcase it. Like I felt probably the best I've felt in the cage.
I like that. I feel like we kind of bring the same energies and we fight. I'm getting a lot of the same vibes from you that I bring. I really like that. Clayton, I'll go ahead and
But
kick it back to you, man. You're leading the show.
Absolutely, absolutely. Cam, talk about your training camp. What sort of guys are you in the room with every day, and how have they helped your development as a fighter?
I've got a variety of guys, and one of my big thing is I've been in this game so long. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of different fighters. I know a lot of different coaches. So I do a lot of traveling and training. One of my good sparring partners is Chris Barnett, which congratulations on the win last night, my man. He fought in karate combat last night, and I mean he's always helped develop my game just because of we fight very similar. We're both big athletic guys. And some people really just don't know what to expect from us. I have a lot of bigger guys that come in with my jiu-jitsu and sambo coaches. So as far as working with bigger individuals, like that's my comfortability. Like I'm okay being in bad positions because I'm in them all the time. Like that's nothing to me. And then of course because of my wrestling background, I come out of a wrestling gym. We have a lot of high schoolers that train and I coach. That at the high school level of wrestling, we're teaching them the technique of wrestling, but also I cross over into the aspect of MMA, and so like just the formality of rolling some of those smaller guys, it's a whole lot of fun, and it's challenging because I'm fat, but it's definitely I like the variety that I have, man, and again, like I said, I travel and train, so man, I got an array of guys to train with. One of my best friends, SD Dumas in the UFC. I go over, and train with a lot of pro boxers. Like I do it all.
Absolutely, for sure. And Cam, my last question for you before I kick it back to Connor for the real question that everybody wants to know the answer to. But I feel like here at Carnage Media, one question that we always get to, and I feel like I might be able to guess it. What is your go-to post-fight meal? You're walking back to the locker room, you just walked away with a victory. You're thinking, man, I got to get something in my stomach. What is that thing that you're looking for?
Oh man, it's kind of simple and it's kind of easy to guess it, but it's not for the reason that people think. Uh, I'm a very big I'm a family person, man. I'm a dad, and most of the time my kids are with me at fights. They won't be at this one, but most of the time my kids are with me at my fights. That's a big part of me. I love my kids being at my fights. And I've got 6 total. And one thing people don't realize is it's expensive to feed 6 kids. So most of the time we're headed to the cheapest, best place to eat, and then sure enough McDonald's. I don't even like Big Macs as much as people think, but my kids like me eating Big Macs, so I end up getting Big Macs.
Hey, there we go. There we go. Connor, I'm going to go ahead and kick it back to you.
All right, before I ask, the final question that we always ask, I got to stir the pot just a little bit. What are you better at than Charlie? When you watch Charlie, you're like, yep, that's where I got him. That's how I beat him. What makes you a better mixed martial artist than Charlie Cleveland?
I'm gonna say this, and it's not any disrespect to Charlie. It's not any disrespect to Charlie's coaches, trading partners, anything of that nature. There's no disrespect meant. But I'm going to have to say everything as of right now, only because, again, I have the experience and I've taken the time to learn absolutely everything that I can. My striking, was probably already better than his. And then now that my wrestling and ground game is much better, I don't see him being able to take me there either. Um, and again, like I said, I've just been doing this a whole lot longer, so I don't see much of many areas that he's going to be better than me at.
I like that. Well, that being said, I'll ask the question. At the end of the day, Cam Graham gets his hand raised and he defeats Charlie Cleveland. How does he get it done? How do you get the win over Charlie?
I'm either going to go for TKO late first round, or I'll play around and we'll go into deep waters. I like going. I got a gas tank. We can go 3 rounds. I'll give these people a show. We can go deep rounds.
I love that. I am very excited for this fight. Once I saw this one got booked, it was one that I had bookmarked in my brain. So I'm very excited to watch you guys throw down on December 20th.
Yes, sir.
Kick it back to you.
Love it, man.
Well, Cam, I think that about does it for your section of this interview. Before we bring in Charlie, do you have any sponsors, anybody you want to shout out?
I actually do have a few shout outs. If you guys don't mind, I would like to give a shout out to my wife and kids. Shout out to my Megan, happy birthday today. I'm sorry I had to leave out. As well as my sponsors over at AMS. They make all of my gear, my breast cancer awareness shirts, everything. MMA 24/7, Rob Moriarty, Joe Lewis over at Jorge Tree Service, and Tom Shaw with Tom Shaw Painting. I do appreciate all you guys, man. Without you, this is not possible.
All right. Thank you very much. Cam, we appreciate your time. We will see you on December 20th. We're definitely looking forward to you stepping in the cage.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Yes, sir.
And with all of that being said, Cam, there's only one other person we can bring into this interview to really make it complete. Kev, if you want to go ahead and bring in our next guest.
How y'all feeling? What's happening? What's happening?
That is none other than Charlie the Reaper Cleveland. Charlie, how you feeling, man? We're a couple weeks out from the fight.
Yes, I'm feeling ready, man. I'm feeling good today. It's a good day.
For sure, for sure. And since we have the two of you here right now, Charlie, we're going to go ahead and start with you because we already dove into this with Cam just a little bit. How do you see this fight going down based off of your training camp?
Oh, man, I've been training hard. I mean, I know Cam, he be swinging for the fences. So you feel me? In heavyweight, you never know what could happen. But I could just say it's definitely going to be an exciting fight. You won't want to miss it.
For sure, for sure. Our second pro fight on the card that night. Cam, I'm going to go ahead and kick it back up to you. Based on Charlie's response, he's feeling ready. He's feeling confident. What's going through your mind now?
Oh, we're going to have fun. That's it. I love it. I love it, man. We're going to have fun.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Connor, I'm going to go ahead and kick it down to you.
Yeah, so I would like to ask you just a little bit why we got you both here. I mean, I talked to Cam about it a little bit and asked him, what he saw in your game that he thinks he can take advantage of. What do you see when Cam fights where you're like, oh yeah, that's where I got him. That's where Charlie gets it done.
I mean, I'm quick. I'm quick for heavyweight. I get in and out. I can throw damn near every strike that you can name. So I mean, that's why I feel like I got the advantage. With most heavyweights, not even just Cam, most heavyweights. So I mean, that's why I think I got the advantage. And shit, I've been working on a lot of jiu-jitsu. Kind of, we've been doing that tag team joint. Up here. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I've been focusing on jiu-jitsu. So if we do go to the ground, I'm confident in my ground game.
We talked about too, like all of Cam's experience. Some of the guys he's fought, like I said, there's guys like Sam Alvey, Alexander Romanov, like these UFC guys that have been in the UFC caliber guys. Like, when you see stuff like that, does that make you nervous? Does that make you excited? Like, when do you see a resume like that in a guy? Like, how does that get you feeling?
it get me excited because shit, that's why I ultimately want to be in the UFC. So he fought guys in the UFC before, and I mean, I just hope. Well, I know I can match up to him. So I mean, that's all the MMA grind, MMA career. Kind of you a fighter, so you should know. So you do know. You just want to take it up level by level by level by level of opponents, and then you match yourself up with them to say, let's say, to see if you got what it takes.
I like that. I like that, Clayton. I'll kick it back to you, man.
For sure. And I'm going to start with Cam this time. Cam, Charlie has 2 head kick knockouts. Both of his first 2 pro wins were via head kick knockout. Is that something that you're keeping in the back of your mind?
No. I've been caught in the head with a few head kicks, and I'm not gonna say like it don't bother me, but like I mean it's part of the game. There's not like gonna come in like, okay, this guy throws a check hook. I'm gonna watch for that check hook the whole fight. That's how you bait yourself. Like that doesn't bother me. We're gonna treat it just like any other fight. Hey, I don't know nothing about him. I don't know his go-tos. We're just gonna go in and we're gonna have fun.
For sure.
Charlie, how does that sit with you then? Knowing that he's not expecting anything, so he could be ready for everything.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's how you should approach any fight. I agree with him. I mean, like, if I know somebody a grappler or something like that, I'm not gonna go out there and be scared to throw because I know he's gonna shoot under. You know what I mean? So that just stunts your own game. So I mean, I agree with him. Be yourself and be loose up in there, and that's how you win fights.
Now, I got to ask you, Charlie, we'll go ahead and stick with you for this next question. This is your 5th pro fight this year. How has that level of activity worn on you throughout the year? Are you feeling good? Talk about your physical and mental state heading into this fight.
All right, so I'm in the best mental state I've been in so far. So in my MMA career, before November, I was working 3rd shift. You know what I mean? So I was working a 12-hour 3rd shift job. So I'm from 7 to 7. I get out of work, go straight to practice. I go to 2 practices. I come home by 1 o'clock, 1 p.m., and then I'm sleeping to work. So that was my grind up. It's about a month and a half ago. But now I'm a full-time fighter. I've been in the gym every day. I've been rehabbing every day. I feel the best I ever felt so far. So I mean, I feel like this would be one of my best performances that I put on so far.
And Cam, this is your 5th fight of the year too. As someone who has a lot of experience in fighting all the time, you're fighting 6-7 times a year usually since you've turned pro. How do you feel that aspect might give you a leg up in this fight?
It's kind of the same to him. This is probably the best I've felt going into a fight because I'm more active. Normally I've had, like you said, 6, 7, 8 MMA fights. That's not including me throwing in a boxing and jiu-jitsu and everything. So this has probably been my most chillaxed year. I mean, it's allowed me to hone in on just being more comfortable and more healthy going into these camps and into these fights. This is gonna be an entertaining fight. I feel like it's gonna be a barn burner.
That's what I like to hear, guys. Everybody's feeling good. We're feeling ready. Connor, I'm gonna kick it back to you.
Yeah, you say you guys both feel like it's gonna be a barn burner, go crazy. What are the odds you guys feel this goes to decision? You guys think this is going to decision? Either one, Charlie, we'll start with you. You think there's a good odds this goes to decision, or is this gonna be done quick?
I mean, hey, heavyweights is usually don't make it to decision, big dog. You're a big boy, motherfuckers hit hard. You only get hit so many times. You feel me? What'd he say?
I've got a lot of decisions.
Oh, okay, for sure. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It might just go to decision. If it do go to decision, I'm ready to go to decision. You know what I mean? I'm in great shape right now. But most of the shit it might not make to decision, is all I'm saying. I ain't saying that I'm just about to go in here and knock bro out because he got, you feel me, an experienced fighter. You feel me? I ain't saying that I damn sure ain't saying he about to come in and knock me out. You feel me? Yeah. anything can happen when in a heavyweight MMA fight.
Yes, you said you're Charlie. You said you're ready. You could go decision, but you've never been to decision. You've also never been to the third round in your career, but you still feel that you are ready. If it has to go to them deep waters, you're ready for that against Cam?
Oh, for sure, man. So at Demolition Fight Team, it's not a lot of huge guys. It's not a lot of big guys. It's straight little scrappy guys. We on the ground. I got to scramble with them. You know what I mean? I'm flipping, turning, all this shit. So it's like, yeah, I'm ready to go to decision for sure.
I like that. And Cam, I got one for you real quick too. Charlie, like I said, Charlie's never been to decision. Hell, he's never been to the third round. So, that means he comes out hot. He's got that pressure quick and early. Do you think you're going to be able to take advantage of him coming out hot with that pressure? Since you be the more experienced fighter and all, you think you can take advantage of that? Or is that something you kind of look out for?
What'd you say again? I didn't catch none of that.
So, like I said, Charlie talked about, he's ready to go decision if it needs to, but in all his fights, both amateur and pro, he's never been to decision. He's never even been to the third round. So Charlie does bring that pressure. He brings that heat. Is that something that you feel that you could take advantage of, or is that something you kind of stay cautious with and look out for in a fighter?
It's more one of those things. I treat every fight the same. Whether he's been to decision third round or not. I feel like he said, he's been in camp preparing for this and knowing the type of fighter I am. I've been to decisions. Most guys know I can pull some shit out of my ass in the third round. So it'll be down. If it goes to this, it'll be a fun one.
For sure.
Absolutely. Clayton, I'll kick it back to you, man.
Absolutely. So, Charlie, we'll start with you here again. The people are going to want to know, is there a walkout song that you have prepared for this fight? Have you chosen yet? Is that something you think about? What can we expect from the Reaper's walkout?
I walk out to the same thing every time. It's Damian Marley, Welcome to John Rock. So, out in the streets, they call it murder. Yeah, that's my thing. I got Jamaican lineage, so I stay within my culture.
Absolutely. Is that a song that you think you'll stick with forever, no matter how far you can take this MMA game? Do you think you'll always be walking up to that?
Yeah, for right now, yeah. I mean, I feel like it's my good luck song right now, so yeah.
For sure. And it looks like we're having some technical difficulties with Cam right now. So, Charlie, we'll just jump into your section of the interview right now. Okay. I've been waiting to have you on the show for a while because you have a very interesting athletic background. Talk about coming into fighting from,
my boy back.
There we go. We'll save that here for a second.
I don't know what.
Hey, you're good, man. Technology gets after us sometimes. We understand. But, Cam, last question for you before we send you off. What song are you walking out to? Is that something you think about? Is that something you think of ahead of time? Do you let your kids pick your walkout song? What can we expect from the Big Max walkout?
It's a song I've gone out to quite some time now. Most of the time I end up having a trademark that I stick to. That way when people hear it, they know who it is. And Get Ready by Rod Wave is that song right now. If you listen to the lyrics, it speaks to my journey as a fighter. It's one of those things that just, when you hear it, you're like, all right, like I can feel where he's coming from, and that's me, man.
Absolutely. Cam, we're going to go ahead and jump into Charlie's section, but we're going to start with you here, Cam. Is there any last words you want to leave Charlie with before you guys meet in the cage December 20th in Sandusky?
Oh, yeah, man. Let's have.
I don't know what he said, brother.
Let's have fun, my man.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. Let's have fun. Stay blessed.
Yes, sir.
Cam, thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate your time, and we are absolutely looking forward to seeing you in action.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all for having me.
All right. Charlie, we're going to pick up right where we left off, right? So, like I said, you have a very interesting athletic background. How does a kid from East Chicago, Indiana, wind up in Northwest Ohio?
Man, it's a crazy path. So, high school, I was a football star, all state middle linebacker, but I was a basketball player to my junior year in high school. So I wasn't really planning on going to college. I was really planning on going to the military until I started getting offers for football. So when I started getting college visits and stuff like that, I had to reevaluate my academic situation. So I really never gave a lot of effort into it since I didn't want to go to college. At this point, I had about like a 2.3. You know what I mean? So I graduated in 2016. In 2015, they moved the D1 minimum up from a 2.3 to a 2.5. So I was just didn't make it. I went to prep school, and my prep school they have classes. I guess a lot of they employees quit or whatever. So we just took an ACT prep class. I wasn't D1 eligible. Ended up getting a full ride from Tiffin University. I came to Tiffin University. They offered me a full ride, free college. I'm there. That's how I ended up here.
Now, talk about your career as a college football player, man. You, from what I understand, you were a standout player for the Tiffin Dragons. So, talk about your college football experience.
Yeah, for sure, man. I can't be grateful enough for Tiffin University. You know what I mean? When I came, they welcomed me with open arms. They showed me all the love possible. Everybody at the campus always treated me with the utmost respect and everything. They got great people there. So I started my freshman year. I started all my years in college. I made first team all conference every year, first team all region every year. I got the record for sacks at the school. I got the record for TFLs. So I mean, I had a pretty good career. I was a NFL prospect, but what it turns out that I'm too short to play DN in the league. Huh? So I mean, hey, I carry my talents to MMA, and it's been working out pretty well.
I have to agree with you there, man. So far, so good. 3-1 as a professional mixed martial artist. How did you make that transition from football to MMA? Like, what even put MMA on your radar?
It was just it was a conversation I had with a girl I was messing with. We was watching the UFC, and then it was two heavyweights, you know what I mean? And I'm like, bro, you know, in the UFC, it's the top 10 heavyweights. Well, really, the top 8, those are the good guys. Below that, there's just they swinging wide. After the first round, both of them tied. So it's just I was watching that. I'm like, bro, I'll whoop both of them. You know what I mean? And this girl was a wrestler, so she like, no, you won't, whoa, stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, let's go to an MMA gym there. And so we went to Demolition Fight Team the next day, and the rest is history.
Talk about your experience so far with Demolition. You know, obviously they have a great coach over there in Gary Young. You're working with guys like Quentin Richards and Dylan Budka, both of which who are on this show December 20th. So talk about just what your experience at Demolition has been like so far.
Yeah, man, it's probably one of the best. It's definitely the best MMA gym I've ever been to because you know it's different cultures and different MMA gyms. I've been to a MMA gym in Cali, and it was not really a family culture. I've been to some in Columbus. It's not really a family culture. It's like everybody in competition with each other. They trying to it's like they trying to outwork each other, but not in a good way. You know what I mean? Sparring day, people sneaking in hard shots and stuff like that. So I mean, Coach Gary does a great job of making the culture there like almost a family-oriented culture where when we're sparring, we're not trying to hurt each other. We're trying to get better technically. We going full speed, but ain't nobody throwing full strength. You know what I mean? So I feel like when you look at the Thai guys in Muay Thai, that's how they spar and that's how they're so fluid with their striking and everything like that. So I feel that the guys at the gym, like you said, Q, Dylan, Gates, Josh, JD McNabb, I think his last name McNabb. He been coming to the gym more. It's great guys there that just want to see each other win, and they want everybody to prosper there. So I mean, it's a great gym, man. I'm good. I thank God for leading me there.
For sure. Connor, I'm gonna go ahead and kick it back up to you.
Yeah, so You made your debut back in 2023 of December, and I'm talking amateur debut, which I
Yeah.
also I happened to fight on that card as well with you. That was your
Right.
debut. We
Yeah.
both won on that. We both won that night. But either
Yeah.
way, that was like I said, a little over just barely 2 years ago now, and you're already about to have your 5th pro fight. Did you want to take your career as fast as you had, or did you kind of want to go slow? You like the pace you're at, or what's your thoughts
Yeah.
on that?
Honestly, I like the pace I'm at now because I mean, growing up, I grew up in an urban environment and poverty-stricken situation. So I mean, I fought my whole life. I if y'all look at my social media, I tell
I
story
was about to
time.
say I've been watching the story ties, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's I fought my whole life. It's nothing new to me. So when it came to MMA, it was just more of learning fighting technique. So I was already a natural fighter, a natural athlete. So I took the 4 amateur fights and they was all done in the first round. And my coach was like, "Hey man, you could turn pro now if you want. You keep fighting for free." And I ain't nobody doing nothing
Yeah.
for free nowadays. So go ahead, turn pro, and we gonna just keep going and see where this go. Hopefully, shit, we go to the UFC. We knuckle up with Big Tommy one day. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I was you look at your opponents too, man. You fought the who's who of fighters, man. You got guys like RJ Harris, guys like your major pro debut against Jeremy Riley. In the promotion you fought him in, he was the amateur heavyweight champion there. So when you're fighting these guys, is that you always looking you looking for that top guy every time, no matter what, no matter where it's at? Is that what you're looking for every time?
Yeah, for sure. If it's up to me, if I beat a guy on this level, my next fight I want to be right here. The next fight here, here, here. So I mean, I'm not trying to just fight no scrubs and pad my record all the way to the UFC because you do that, you're gonna find out when you get there that it ain't the same thing. So I mean, I want the real experience before I get there. So yeah, I'm trying to fight the top guys for sure.
Absolutely. I got one more for you before I pass it back to Clayton. You like I said, on your topology, you were supposed to fight. You were supposed to fight tonight. You were supposed to have a fight tonight. They got canceled,
Telling me.
and now you're fighting on the 20th, and you had them both scheduled at one time. Was you like fighting that close together, like 2 weeks apart, like that? Is that something that you really like?
I mean, like I just said, it's my first time being a full-time fighter. I feel like I can do that now since I've been training so much. And man, Connor, are you a full-time fighter or do you got a job or something?
It's pretty close to full time, as close as I can get.
So you feel me? Once them checks, you need them checks to keep coming. So that's more of what that was. That's more of what
Yeah,
that was. But
got you.
I mean, if I see the opportunity to get 2 wins in 1 month, hey, bring them on.
And that one being canceled going into this one, is that kind of obviously it's gonna bum you out? You're supposed to have 2 fights, but at the same time, does that kind of feel like a weight lifted off your shoulders a little bit? Because now you only got one guy to think about instead of 2 guys to think about.
Yeah, kind of because for real, when that other fight was scheduled, I wouldn't even think about Cameron yet. I didn't even watch his film yet when that other fight was scheduled because I wasn't trying to look past this dude I was fighting.
Got you.
So when that got canceled like last week, then I started looking at Cam film and stuff like that. So I mean, it wasn't really too much on my shoulders because it's one fight at a time always.
Yeah, you think that actually might end up being a little bit of a like obviously it sucks if fight gets canceled, but it might be a little bit of a positive note going into this Cam fight because now you got a little more time to focus on Cam, see what he does, find his tendencies and stuff like that.
Exactly, and it is. I couldn't get a gauntlet in because I had this fight on the 6th for Cam's fight. So now
Mhm.
this week I just got my gauntlet in. You know how that builds you up, build up the confidence
Yeah,
and
yeah,
cardio. So yeah, I feel better.
absolutely. Clayton, I'll pass it back to you.
For sure, for sure. Charlie, we're going to go back to the Jeremy Riley fight because that was one where I was actually at the show and I was talking to Q because we work together a lot. Q commentates on a lot of our shows. He was like,
Yep.
"Yeah, man, Charlie just kicked this guy's head off. Like people were really concerned that the guy might be really hurt." And then he showed me the video and I was like, "Oh my gosh, dude, that is awesome." So walk us through that finish. You had 2 head kicks. Is that something that you look for? Is that something that you like to throw?
No, I mean I like to throw whatever open. So kind of might get this because he's a fighter too. So if I throw a jab, boom, and you do this, then I know the right head kick is open. You know what I mean? So I'm just whatever you giving me, I'm taking. Whatever you giving me, I'm taking through the whole fight. I'm not going in there like, oh, I'm gonna hit him with a 3-2, and then I keep mashing it 3-2 because sooner or later he gonna slip my 2 and hit me with 1. So I mean, yeah, it's kind of more of a flow state in there. I'm never looking for anything unless I see it on your film. You fight with your left hand down, then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be able to hit him with that. But no, I'm not never really going in there with a game plan. I'm just fighting.
I
For
did want
sure.
to touch real quick on that Jeremy fight. Like, for those that don't know, it's not like Charlie was getting whooped and threw up a last-minute head kick and won that fight. I watched that fight. Charlie was winning that fight and then just sealed it off with a head kick. So it was a very good performance from Charlie, like I said, against a former amateur heavyweight champion of that very same promotion. So just want to put that out there for you before people
Appreciate
start
it, brother.
thinking he just threw up some stuff. Nah, he was winning before he threw that up.
For sure.
For sure. I should have clarified that. Sorry to all of our viewers out here. But with that being said, you've fought 4 times already this year. This is fight number 5. What can we expect from Charlie Cleveland in 2026?
Same thing. Hey, I'm gonna be busy, man. Until I get to the top, I ain't stopping. I'm gonna keep breaking that invisible ceiling over and over again until I get to the top. I mean, that's what this fighting game all about, is pushing yourself, seeing if you're the best fighter in the world, and that's what I want to see.
So when you think about your career, things that you might want to do when we're doing this interview again, say December 6, 2026, where will Charlie Cleveland be?
Hopefully, you're willing, I'll be in the UFC, or I'll be LFA champion, or I'll be close to one of them.
Absolutely. Love that confidence. And I do have to ask you this question as well, because we did ask it to Cam. After the fight, got your hand raised, walking out of the cage, what's the first thing on your mind for a post-fight meal?
You see, I don't really think like that, because I'm not a heavyweight, so I'm eating before the weigh-ins. I'm eating before the fight. I don't cut weight, so I'm not really. It's not really like that for me, because like when a fighter's fighting, they cut 20 pounds. The first thing they want to go do is eat a piece of cake. It ain't really like that for me. I'm eating good through the whole training camp, so I ain't really thinking about no food. I'm really thinking about family. After the fight, I'm calling my dad. I'm calling my brother. I'm calling, oh, did you see that? How I countered, stuff like that. Yeah.
So as a heavyweight then, what do you walk around at? Because, we see guys all the time, UFC, regional scene, whatever, that have to cut weight to make 265. And do you feel like not having to cut weight is an advantage for you?
Yeah, for sure it's an advantage for me, because I'm not dehydrating my brain constantly, my body constantly right before weigh-ins. But it also can be a disadvantage if I don't stay strong enough to grapple with these guys. But I feel like, hey, I'm pretty strong. I was the same weight when I played football. This is my natural weight, about 240, 245, somewhere around there. I'm thinking about, if I was going to cut down, but now I'm staying at heavyweight. I'm going to bump up slowly but surely, good weight to like 250, 255 and stay there. So, I mean, yeah, it's all good. I love being the weight I am. Stay strong and stay athletic is the goal.
Absolutely. And for those of you who follow you on social media, know that you are a Green Bay Packers fan, correct?
Oh, yeah, Connor, I see you in the background, baby. Yes, sir.
I just got to ask you about what you think about the team this year. They have Jordan Love. They've had a lot of good moments, a lot of questionable moments, including a loss to my Cleveland Browns.
Oh my God.
I know Braden Benson's going to appreciate that one.
Come on, man. Come on.
Jesus Christ.
We all got bad days.
Yeah, for sure. No, hey, I love it, man. I love where we going. I think we're going to the Super Bowl this year. Look,
Yes.
Jalen Reed coming back. Matthew Gone coming back this weekend. We got the Bears. We about to spank them boys today, and we gone. It's off to the races from here.
For sure.
No, not today. Tomorrow. My bad.
Connor, I'm going to go ahead and kick it back to you, my man.
Yeah, but before I ask, the famous prediction question, I do got one more question. We touched on it a little bit with the fighting at heavyweight. I would say it's amateurs. A lot of guys don't like to cut weight. I get that. When you went pro, did you think about going down to light heavyweight, or was you like, yeah, I'm staying heavyweight no matter what, or was light heavyweight ever, or will it ever be something that you consider?
Yeah, I did think about going to light heavyweight, because I'm about 6'2", you know what I mean? I ain't the tallest guy ever. So I was thinking about going down to light heavyweight, but it's just a personal opinion of mine. It's a little controversial with the whole weight cutting, in my opinion. But I feel like if you naturally 230, that's where you should fight at. If you're naturally 180, that's where you should fight at. Losing 40 pounds to fight smaller people is cowardly. So I feel like you should fight at your natural weight, because if you're cutting weight to make, say if you want to fight at 185, you're 197, okay, you can cut to 185 because that's near your natural weight. But what Alex Pereira was doing, he's walking around 230 and cutting to 180. That's cowardly. You know what I mean? Because you're not cutting because that's like your weight class. You're cutting to not fight bigger guys your size. So if I was to cut to 205, it wouldn't be too bad because I'm the same size as all of these guys. But I feel like I want to see if I'm the best fighter at my natural weight in the world.
I like that. Like, man, I mean, weight cutting's my least favorite part of all of it. I hate cutting weight, and if all the guys around my natural weight would do the same thing and not cut from 70 down, I'd do it too. But them boys are huge, so I gotta.
Hey, if you can't beat them, join them, brother.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, I got to finish it off with Charlie. You get your hand raised December 20th. If you get your hand raised, how exactly are you getting this hand raised? What did you do to get this win over Cam?
I'll stroke him. I'll Jesus, pause.
Oh, clip that.
There it is.
I beat him up on the feet, basically. I feel like I got in and out. I did my game plan. If he shoot in, I stuffed all his shots, stuff like that. I did what I was supposed to do, and I feel like it's either gonna be a knockout or a dominant finish, or not a dominant finish, a dominant performance.
I love that. So you think that head kick pops up at all? You looking first round again, or are you gonna?
If it's there, I'm taking it. I ain't gonna never. Yeah, come on out. But I feel like Cam's not a tall guy, so it's always a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know if it pop up, then I'll take it.
Absolutely, Clayton. I'll let you go ahead and finish this off for us, man.
Yeah, Charlie, thank you for your time, man. We appreciate having you on the show. We're going to go ahead and give you the floor here. Any sponsors, anybody you want to shout out? The floor is yours, man.
Oh, yep. I want to shout out the Most High God. I want to shout out my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I want to thank my coach, Demolition Fight Team, Gary Young, Dylan Bucker, Q, everybody who've been helping me with this fight camp, and of course my father for raising me. So yeah, that's it.
All right. Thank you very much for coming onto our show. We appreciate it. We are very much so looking forward to seeing you fight on December 20th, man. This one's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. And go, Pat, go.
Oh, yes, sir. Go, Pat, go. Y'all have a nice day.
You too, brother.
You too.
All right, so as we sitting on here, are we going you ending the video right now?
We'll probably edit this part out real quick, but I'll
and then cut it.
That was Charlie the Reaper Cleveland, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you to Charlie and Cam for their time on the show. Make sure to tune into their fight on December 20th at Carnage Fight Series 5 in Sandusky, Ohio. To purchase tickets, please contact us at Carnage Media, or to buy the pay-per-view, Carnage Media, on all of your socials. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you at the fights.
Yes.